Hello, my wonderful wolf pack, and welcome to another video. Another bit of exclusive content for you YouTube folk. And this one is between me and Yonk. This takes place the night before a future event, where Star goes back to the Snow Queen. You'll see that soon enough in its own video. Though you might be able to see it as, a bit of a premiere that's upcoming. Who knows? Anyways, so this is between me and Yonk. Hopefully you all enjoy, and let's get into it. Star tosses and turns, but can't find it in her to fall asleep. God, I'm so nervous for this meeting with the Snow Queen. I just don't know what to say or do. I'm scared she'll kill me. I think I just need to take a walk. Star gets up and puts on her crown and heads out the door, walking towards Spawn. The night sky is beautiful above her, and she can't help but stare at her namesake. Eventually, her mindless walking leads her right outside the library. She sits on the roots and continues to stare at the stars in wonder. Can't sleep? She's sitting on the roof of the porch, book and pen in hand. Maybe she's been there the whole time? She looks different, though. Different than usual, anyway. With grayish skin and dark scars tracing her left arm, and big, imposing black wings settled on her back. She tilted her head a little. Me either. She went on, without waiting for a reply. She looks up through the branches of the trees. What's on your mind? Star's ear twitches back as she hears Yonk's voice. She turns to face Yonk, giving her all of her attention. I'm just scared for tomorrow. I'm gonna go meet with the Snow Queen, and I don't even know how she's going to react to what I tell her. I'm literally rejecting her. How else is she gonna take it except badly? Based on how everyone else is talking about her, I'm scared that because I'm rejecting her offer, she's gonna try and kill me. I don't want to die. But in case I do have a will ready to let everyone know who gets what of my stuff. Obviously Golden is getting a lot of it, but still. I want to share my stuff around if I'm gone. Most people never do, she says. Want to die, that is. I can't say I didn't warn you, but... She shrugs. I don't think she'll kill you, personally. You're not outright turning her away, yes? She quirked an eyebrow, gesturing vaguely toward Star. You're still wearing her gift, so clearly you're still interested in being tied to her. Star shrugs and tilts her head a bit. True, but what if, because I reject her, she demands it back? It is her crown, so there's no reason why she shouldn't want it back. So I doubt this means all that much in the grand scheme of things. She'll probably just kill me and take back her crown. I know everyone tried to warn me, even more recently. Star flinches, remembering Hatnax's request to keep their meeting a secret. She clears her throat and to try and correct herself. Either way, I still think it's working, in some small way at least, so I want to keep trying if I do survive. I'll try and gather more information on her before I tell her, though. So if I do die, my parrot Tumult will deliver that to you. Just so I can prove myself to be helpful, even in death. Star looks down at her ears droop, scared of what her fate may be the next day. That's nice. She smiled a little. Thanks, but I didn't mean that she'd want it back. I wasn't talking about her end. I mean, I suppose in a way I was, but I don't think she'll kill you. Because even if you aren't intending to accept this, I don't even know what it is, actually. This deal of hers, that crown you're wearing still means allegiance. You will not be killed so long as you are useful to her. She shrugged. I don't worry for you, truly. She may be displeased, but she isn't unreasonable. She waggled a finger. You are useful to her yet, even if you don't accept. If she wanted you to have no choice in the matter, she wouldn't have given you one. Star nods. True. I guess everything everyone has told me, plus my own past, is causing me to think of the worst case scenario. Star exhales, calming her thoughts. Any progress on figuring out a solution and helping Jet? Yes, actually, she said, eyes drifting back down to her book. She wrote something, or maybe sketched it. The pen scratching away at the paper's surface. I think I have. I just need a bit of time, is all, to get it all together and tell her what's going on. And maybe a little bit of resignation in my heart to giving up a part of myself for it. She smiled, but it sort of looked like a grimace. Sad, painful, but understanding and resolute. It will have to be done regardless. I will not feel well after its completion, but I will bounce back. Star nodded, making sure to remember to write it down when she gets home. I see. What do you plan to do, if you don't mind me asking? If it's supposed to be a secret, you can trust me to keep it. I have plenty of secrets I'm keeping right now, so you don't need to worry about me having a big mouth or anything. I hope it won't hurt you too bad. Star looked concerned, yet supportive of whatever Yonk had planned, eyes full of hope and ears pointed toward her. Well, she said, turning her eyes back to the sky, sighing quietly. So long as she agrees to it, I will remove her soul. She smiled a little, and separate the heart from her, to keep it from killing her. I will instead replace it with a new catalyst, one forged by the wind goddess of this plane, similar in structure to the crystals which held Dusklor's soul, if you've ever known him. And I will place a connected set within me. My soul will feed hers, and fill the void the heart leaves when I remove it. It will no longer belong to me, but instead to us. Her smile has faded away, and now her look is neutral as she observes the stars. After a long moment, she shakes her head. No longer will she hold the heart of winter, but instead the hand of death. She holds her hand up, finger and thumb extended, like an artist measuring distance with the eye. Then she returns to aimlessly scratching away at the paper with her quill. Star nods along as Yonk speaks, looking more concerned as she goes on. Well, what will that do to you? Or Jet? Won't it hurt? What will it do to your magic? Will it kill you? This is incredibly dangerous. I hope you fully understand what you're doing, 'cause this could, at worst, kill both of you. I don't doubt you. I just want you to be safe. Granted, I'm new here, but I do care for both of you. You're my friends. So please, be careful. I hope Jet agrees if this is truly the best course of action, and that it goes well. Star squeezes her hands together and stares at the stars, tracing constellations and following shooting stars. She glanced over, processing. It will make it so she can draw on my magic, and I on hers, though she has none to give, really. It will hurt, both emotionally and physically. My magic will be fine, but a bit weaker, perhaps. It will not kill me, but it will technically kill her, for a time at least. A few minutes while I work. But it isn't the first time I've taken a soul and placed it back where I found it, so I'm sure it will work. Out. She shook her head. I will be careful. I would not risk my life if I weren't sure it would work, I assure you. Star sighs, relieved that Yonk is experienced in this and that they will be okay. Okay, I trust you. You're more experienced with this than I thought. I hope it goes well. Star gave Yonk a hopeful smile before going back to the night sky. Between one breath and the next, Star's crown shifts. The spokes shrink, bend, the crystals on the ends becoming entwined in leaves and vines. Beads of ice blossom in her hair. In essence, the crown shifts, becoming more inconspicuous, more fauna-based, more like a circlet than a crown. Star feels the change. She goes up to pick up the crown and look at it, intrigued by the change. But she can't get it off. She panics as she can't seem to get it off. What the heck? she whispers kind of loudly to herself. Did I do that unconsciously? She continues to try and remove it before remembering Yonk being there. Hey, Yonk? Something's happening and I may need a bit of help. She glanced down and frowned. That didn't look that way before. Intriguing. She stood and hopped down, her wings carrying her in a gentle glide down to the roots of the tree. She crouches down, balanced on her toes as she reaches out to touch the crown, and then thinks better of it, withdrawing her hand again. I wonder, can she hear me through there? She pondered aloud. I never really cared to know, but perhaps. Star remains still as Yonk reaches out. When she withdraws her hand, Star grows worried. I know this is somewhat magical, but how would she hear you? And why did you stop? Is there some way to get it off? I don't think I did this, unless I did it without thinking. It just happened out of nowhere. I'm worried this is stuck on my head. While it is magical, it can't become permanently stuck, right? Star looks incredibly worried, ears pinned back and tail wrapped around her. She looks at Yonk, hoping for a positive response. I don't know what this thing does. What if it, explodes when I touch it or something? She scoffed with a more than relaxed snort. It probably can. I don't see why not. She stood, touching her chin, and thought, do you know what it's for? What it does? I originally assumed it was just a status symbol, but if it's decided to root itself to your head, maybe it has some other purpose. Star looks even more concerned than before. She starts to breathe a bit more heavily and think about more negative possibilities. I don't know. She just gave it to me, promising that she would keep me safe from those who wanted to hunt me down. She didn't say that it would do anything. For a while I thought it was just a piece of jewelry and nothing more. Emina corrected me on that. I thought it was a status symbol like you. I never expected something like this to happen. I'm worried that this could be something bad. Star breathes for a minute to try and calm down and think for a moment. Then something comes to mind. A memory. A memory of what the Snow Queen said. Wait! She did say more than that. I just remembered. Before giving me the crown, she said she wanted to, quote, give me something that would give me a chance, end quote. That chance most likely means a chance against those who wish to hurt me. So how would a crown do that? Maybe it does explode if someone else touches it. Or worse. Star looks upward as if trying to look at the crown, worried about what it could do. Yeah, it was definitely a good call that I didn't touch that. It would have definitely exploded or something, she stated, nodding, still touching her chin. She chomped down on one of her fingers lightly, and a pair of pointed teeth poked out under her lips. You shouldn't be too worried. It likely won't hurt you, if that's the case, she said, pacing a circle around Star. If it means to protect you, that's what it will do. And anyway, you came out here resigned that you might die tomorrow. Would it really be so bad if it was 12 hours early? She snorted, leaned in. Can you hear me, Your Majesty? She said, observing the crown idly. I'm watching you closely, just as you were watching me. Star stands still as Yonk speaks to the crown. She has calmed down a bit from what Yonk said, but it still worried her about what the change means. If you really can hear us, then can you please promise me tomorrow that when I visit you, this won't hurt me? I know what you have said, but I don't know. The sudden change scares me. Tell me when I visit you what this thing is for and why it changed suddenly. And why can't I remove it? I'm scared, Yonk. I don't want this to be a permanent feature. People already look at it with disdain, and now they'll think that I changed it and hate me. I know Golden or you won't, but everyone else might. Star's tail thumps a few times at the mention of Golden. I'll try and tell them, but I don't know if they'll believe me. I'm scared about what this could do. This can't be good. If she really wants me to be her follower, this is working against her. This is pushing me away from her just out of pure fear. I really need to be careful tomorrow. This can't bode well for our meeting. Star stands up and paces back and forth, touching the crown idly, pulling at it. Well, she said, shrugging. If they hate you, that's their problem, is it not? She leaned back as Star stood, making sure they didn't bump into each other, still looking at the crown with interest. After pondering a minute, she lifted a hand again, clearly on a path to touch the thing this time, her casting hand ready to protect herself. Hold still, she said. And if it explodes, don't freak out. I'll be fine. Sticking out a single finger, she poked it. A vine of ice wraps around Yonk's finger, little hooks digging into her skin. The blooms of ice in Star's hair gleam. Star can't see it happening. The crown feels completely normal to her. Well, that's not exploding, but it does hurt a little. She didn't pull back, but looked over her finger, watching the icy thorn snag at her. Not that unpleasant. Sort of burns a little. Is that all you have? She pressed forward, poking it a couple times. Additional tendrils of ice wrap around Yonk's finger, thorns digging in, tearing into her skin more as she pushed forward. This is not just the ice anymore. There's fauna magic laced in. Star's magic being pulled through the crown. The ice vines start to grow down her head. The icy vines start to grow down her hand, thickening. Star realizes something is happening. Something that feels like when she grew that lilac. But the more Yonk messes around out of her sight, the faster her heart beats. Something is wrong. Something is bad. It feels a little bit like someone is putting a bunch of pressure on the inside of her elbow. That weak point, the space between flesh and bone. Star remains still as Yonk touches the crown. As the feeling grows, Star panic. Yonk, stop! It hurts! I think it's somehow using my magic. Star pulls away and grabs at her left elbow. She's breathing heavily, ears pinned as far back as they can go, until fully wrapped around her upper body. Ow, ow! Yeah, you're right. This thing is definitely drawing magic out of you. This is definitely fauna. That burns. She sucks in a breath, raises her free hand, and pauses. This might hurt just a little. I'm not sure if it will transmit backwards. And with that warning, she pulses a burst of heat and abyss through her hand, firing black and orange sparks that melt the thorns and set her free. She stumbles back a bit, holding her hand, which drips a bit of black and red goop from where the thorns had broken the skin. She doesn't seem at all that concerned or displeased, just fascinated. Interesting, she mutters. Yeah, that's fucked up. The pressure melts away from Star. Star calms down as the pressure fades, her tail going back down and ears relaxing. I regret taking this from her. This has only given me hateful looks and pain. I'm going to have some words for her tomorrow. What do we do about this? I can't get it off, and if someone else tries, it just hurts me. Star still looks concerned about their current situation. Her breathing, while calmer, is still quick. She tapped her chin. Well, if you're lucky, she'll take those hateful words to heart and remove it. Something tells me she won't. But if that's the case, we'll look into taking other measures, I suppose, she hummed. You've certainly gotten yourself into a pickle, haven't you? It'll be sorted in time, though, I suppose. Star nods. Yeah, I really have, haven't I? I always seem to be in dangerous situations. From being hunted by a wolf pack, to being chased down by guards, to nearly losing my new family to a zombie horde. She laughs half-heartedly. I can never fully escape danger. It just follows me wherever I go. If she doesn't remove this tomorrow, I'm never going to feel safe until it's gone. She hugs herself to try and comfort herself, tail once again wrapping around her. She moved her hand to try and wrap it over her wound, covering it so that it would hopefully stop bleeding. That makes two of us, she snorted, and I think I'm the one who's more at fault for this overall. Danger didn't exactly follow you, she pointed out. More like you walked right into it. She shook her head. Star shook her head. No, it's not your fault for this, it's mine. As you said, I walked right into this. I chose to take the crown and offer the Snow Queen my trust. I let this happen. I chose not to listen to everyone's warnings, so this is entirely on me, not you. You did what you could to warn me, and I didn't listen. I should have. I'm sorry. She looks down, feeling guilty. But that's in the past. What should we do now? I still plan on visiting her tomorrow, but after, what should I do if I live? No, she chuckled. She being here is sort of my fault. She's following me. Well, following Jet, who is following me. So, technically, it is my fault. She doesn't seem sorry, or guilty, or any of that. She's just stating plainly, like it's a fact from a list. It's your fault that you have the crown, and it's your fault that you might die tomorrow, but it's not your fault that she's here, and it isn't your fault that she'll kill you, if she does. If that makes sense. She crossed her arms. Let's take things one step at a time. I dislike looking towards the future. Third-person omniscient isn't quite as fun. She shrugged. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. No use planning on if you live, because if you don't, you will have wasted the time you had. Star nods. Right, but I still want to know what I can do to help. I want to do anything I can. I'll give you all the information I have on her once I get back, if I do. But what else can I do? She looks pleadingly at Yonk, hoping to be told something, anything that she could do. She crossed her arms. Be careful with what you say, and to whom. She glanced up at the crown, but the gesture was the only one that indicated anything. Your chances are better if you're very, very careful. She sighed, leaned back. Other than that, she said, when you get back, I guess the only other thing you can do is try to relax a little. It'll help no one if you stay all strung up. Star nods. Alright, thank you. I'll head back home and try to sleep. Wish me luck. She laughs nervously and turns away to head home. As Star heads home, she passes by Golden's house. She sighs, thinking of how unknown her fate is. I think I should talk to him. I may not see him again after tomorrow, but will he be awake? I don't want to wake him up. I got lucky with Yonk, but who knows with Golden? Star takes a deep breath and walks over to his door and knocks lightly, enough to be heard, but quiet enough not to wake him. Golden is asleep below in a dreamless sleep when a strange noise from above jolts him awake. He looks around, noticing he's still alone in his house. The noise wasn't enough to wake a normal person, but Golden had trained himself to sleep lightly and be ready at a moment's notice. Reaching under his bed, he grabs his sword and heads up the water elevator to the front door. At the door, he sees Star. Why is she here now? He thought. But he opened the door regardless. Star? What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night. Star waves lightly, her tail wagging. Hi, Golden. Sorry if I woke you. I just wanted to talk about a few things. I haven't been able to sleep, so I decided to take a walk around here. I actually just got done talking with Yonk. Golden leaned against his sword. Though he was still tired as hell, Star wouldn't come to him now if it could wait. I'm also the only person she could get away with waking up right now, he thought. Sure, what's wrong? Star invited him to sit down next to her outside. She takes a breath to calm her nerves. Well, for one, you've probably noticed the change in Crown. I didn't do this. It just happened out of nowhere while I was talking with Yonk. We can't remove it either. I tried and it won't come off. When Yonk tried, it hurt me immensely. I think it's using my fauna magic to protect itself. So don't go trying to take it off me, because you might kill me. Golden looked at the crown. It did look different. More like a golden headband than a crown. There was definitely something magical about it. I definitely recall telling you to take that thing off about 3 months ago. But that's beside the point. Yonk can't remove it with a godly magic, huh? Maybe tomorrow you should go speak to Ryan and see if he has a more technological way of getting it off. Because it doesn't look that thick, we can probably just cut it off your head. Star looks wary at that idea. Maybe. I'm a bit worried about that, though, because of how weird it felt when Yonk touched it. Anyways, the other thing I have to say is that tomorrow I plan on visiting the Snow Queen, and I'm worried I won't make it back. I'll gather as much information as I can, but if I don't return, you will have my will, so you'll know what to do. Golden blinked for a second. Not make it back? Star, I've told you, the Snow Queen is not going to kill you or anyone she can sway to her side. And what in the world is a will? Star sighs. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell her that I'm not going to stay with her and request that she take off this crown. I doubt she'll be too happy to hear that, so I fear that she may go on the offensive. And as for the will, it's a book that details someone's final thoughts and requests after they're dead. It allows them to distribute their stuff as they see fit. So you will have that and read it to everyone if I don't return. Star looked sadly at Golden, tail wagging lightly. But why would you pick me to distribute your will? Wouldn't it be best to ask Emina or Yonk? Someone people trust and not a mercenary? And why come to me now to ask me this in the middle of the night? Star smiles at him. It's because you're my family. I trust you, Golden. Everyone will understand. If nothing else, Yonk could come to your defense, as she also knows where I'm going tomorrow. I'm asking you now because I may not get another chance to. My parent, Tumult, will deliver my book of information to Yonk if I'm gone. So keep an eye out. If you see a blue parrot fly by with a book, you'll know what happened. She hugs Golden tight to show just how much she cares. I'm sorry it has come to this, Golden. This is my fault, not yours. I chose to trust her. I chose to take the crown. You did what you could to warn me. Golden felt Star hug him, embrace him warmly. It was strange, as he's never been hugged before. He still had doubts Star would die, but in this world, anything is possible. Too late to change anything now. I guess I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I do know this. I brought you here because I knew this could be your home long after I'm gone. So when you go see her tomorrow, it seems like you might not make it out. If it seems like you might not make it out, remember your home. Look at the paper I gave you, and remember the people you have here. The Snow Queen is powerful, yes, but you can beat her. If you fight for your right to come home, to be with your friends, to be with Cassie. He looked into Star's eyes, and if not, well, thank you. Thank you for choosing me. A fire creature from another universe. Thank you for staying with me. All that time we spent alone. Because at the end of the day, you're the closest thing to a sister I could ever have. And that will never change. Star beams, so happy to be with her family. Of course. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. So really, I should be thanking you. And please, if I die, don't go bomb rushing into her place trying to avenge me. That will only get you killed too. Take your time and make a plan with the others. Be smart. Make me proud. She sniffles a bit, having started to tear up. Alright, I think that's everything I needed to tell you. I hope to see you tomorrow. Whether I do or not, love you, brother. With that, she hugs Golden briefly once more and walks home. And that's everything. That's every bit of information from that takes place before Star goes to visit the Snow Queen. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you want to support me, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, subscribe to me on Patreon for some exclusive rewards, maybe some behind the scenes stuff, or maybe even the ability to, who knows, help me write a bit of lore. Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to see. You'll have to look. And if you want to keep up with what goes on over on Twitch, feel free to follow. There's a link in the description. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!